Welcome to today's edition of ISM's Quick Tips podcast series. I'm Barbara Beachley, a research analyst and associate consultant with Independent School Management. We conduct surveys for schools all over the country, and today I'm going to talk to you about why they survey and the benefits. So why do schools survey? Schools call us for a number of different reasons. Increasingly, we're finding that accrediting agencies are requiring surveys. Some their own surveys, others allow internal surveys or surveys conducted by third parties. Surveys are useful for decision making and strategic planning, improving student performance and satisfaction, identifying strengths and weaknesses, strengthening management and leadership, testing the feasibility of an initiative, making sure that your parents are satisfied, and by improving overall satisfaction among all of your constituencies, you increase internal marketing, which is so important for recruitment and re-recruitment. Probably the most important reason to survey is to confirm assumptions and unveil myths, which can be very costly. When schools make assumptions and then make decisions based on those assumptions without confirming them with data, mistakes can be made. So all of this helps you to deliver your mission with excellence and ensure a greater value proposition so that you keep your school sustainable in the future. The most common that schools will conduct internally may be 1 or 2 item polls through SurveyMonkey within a department, or to check on an opinion having to do with the lunch program, let's say, or athletics. And when it comes to more overall satisfaction surveys, those tend to be longer. For example, the most common one that we conduct is the Parent Satisfaction Survey, which looks at everything from academic, social emotional satisfaction, parent demographics, satisfaction with communication and leadership. We also have student and faculty culture surveys, which look at the connection between faculty culture, which influences student performance, satisfaction, and enthusiasm. And those are benchmarked research surveys that we have data so that we can look at where schools fall on the national norm. Faculty staff satisfaction surveys are also important, looking at all sorts of things from job satisfaction to maximizing capacity to satisfaction with benefits. Board of Trustee evaluation surveys are useful in strategic planning. Attrition surveys and applicant surveys are also 2 of the most popular surveys that we conduct. Schools are always looking to see why people are leaving, mission appropriate students are leaving. And so attrition surveys get at that, and also declined applicants who are applying to your school are accepted and then decide not to enroll. So looking at the reasons that they're choosing other schools and possible reasons that they did not choose your school. Alumni surveys are great for looking at value added. So some of you may have a portrait of a graduate. You have on your website what a graduate from your school looks like. So confirming that with alumni surveys particularly is important for marketing. Putting that in your school newsletter can be a fantastic way to communicate what you're actually doing as opposed to what you say you're doing. And having it in the words of the alums is a great way to do that. Campaign feasibility is another popular survey that we do, looking at really, can you manage the campaign that you're about to start? Campaigns are expensive, so it's important to make sure that they're feasible before you begin that project. Program strength, just looking across your academics, comparing your departments, comparing teacher care and concern. And we really look at the aspects that, according to our research, are most important to independent school parents. And it's crucial that those are in the surveys so that you are basing your questions on research. On a smaller level, in schools internally, teachers often conduct classroom surveys so that they're conducting their own research, action research, and looking at their own progress, the progress of their students over time. And then finally, standard research-based instruments that you can look at your own progress over national norms and compare them. So there are a number of questions to ask when you think about how you're going to conduct your survey. First, who's going to conduct the survey? Will it be internal, conducted by the school, or will you hire a third party to do the survey? And there are pros and cons to both, depending on the kind of survey that you're conducting. Secondly, are you going to conduct the survey once and look at a cross-sectional piece of time, or will you conduct the survey over a period of time and compare it for longitudinal data? Will you use a standardized instrument so that you can use benchmarking norms to see where you stand versus other schools? Or will you have a customized instrument that looks at your specific programs and needs? And finally, which medium will you use? Phone, electronic, in-person interviews? We found that we get the best data from electronic distribution. We have higher response rates and we get more honest and complete feedback. So a lot of schools ask us when the best time to survey would be. It really depends on who you're surveying, but there are two rules of thumb for this. First, you want to look at the state of your participants, who will be participating in the survey. So for example, a faculty culture survey would not be ideal right before comments are due. You want to avoid times when they would be stressed or in other states of mind that wouldn't accurately reflect their culture. Parent satisfaction, avoiding December, January, big holidays, spring break, any time where the parents might be distracted or stressed because of student stress, for example, around exam time. So we typically recommend the October, November, February, and sometimes late spring for parent satisfaction. Applicant surveys are typically done between March and May because that's when applicants are letting schools know that they will not be attending, and that's the same for attrition. So doing attrition surveys as soon after you know that families are leaving would be the best time. The second rule of thumb would be to, if you're going to conduct a survey over a period of time, to do it the same time every year. All of our data show that surveying the same group in October will yield different results than in April, let's say. So if you're conducting surveys over a period of years, if you do it in April in the first year, you need to do it in April in the second year so that you have reliable comparative data. Thank you for joining me in this podcast. For more information about this topic, visit isminc.com/elearning. To stay connected to the latest from ISM, don't forget to sign up for our monthly e-letters at isminc.com.